Hello, creative friends, and welcome to the Stampin' Squad. This is take two because take one did not work for some reason. You couldn't hear me. So now, please, if you can, just type into the chat if you can hear me. Okay, Cheryl says hello. So I hope that means that you guys can actually hear me. So if you can if you can say yes or just something like that, that I know that there is actually sound this time, that would be great. That would be awesome. So I don't know. Oh, fabulous. You can hear me all the way in Virginia. That's good. That is pretty good. Well, why? 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 Can someone explain to me why? I mean, everything looked okay on my end, but I started getting suspicious when nobody was saying anything. Okay, well, let's forget about that and move on. Let's just move right along. Today is September 1st, Monday, and 2025, and here in the United States, Labor Day. So I know some of you are off today, so that is fantastic. Happy Labor Day to you. We're going to make two cards today, and then I'm going to show you a whole bunch more at the end. But this is an easy card, but I think it's really fun. You know, sometimes when we cut some layers and layer things up, it makes it more interesting. And so hopefully you'll like these cards. I think you will. I think you will. I was making an announcement at the beginning of the last attempt to have a live video today. And so let me go over that again really quickly with you. September 3rd, Wednesday this week, this goes live. Okay, so we've got a new mini catalog, lots of great holiday stuff, and also a bunch of online exclusives hit on September 3rd. So lots of new products. We're really gearing up for that and getting really excited. So that's happening. There are going to be two new kits. One of them is a Christmas kit, Christmas cards. So you'll want to check that. And then the last thing is the third Wednesday is registration for World Card Making Day. And if you remember, World Card Making Day is always near the beginning of October. And this year it's on October 4th. And in the afternoon, there will be a live event that you can click on and watch with Stampin' Up. And the registration's free. That opens on Wednesday. Registration's free. And everybody who registers will get a free gift after the event. So that's kind of exciting. So lots happening this week. Be sure and jump over to my website and CherylDorsey.stampinup.net. So hop in there and you'll be able to see all the things that are going on over there. All right. I really appreciate you guys for not giving up and coming back to be with me this afternoon. Thank you. Okay. Let's start working here. I'll show you the stamp set in just a minute. Some of you may have already guessed just based on that little teaser that I did what we're up to today. But we're using the celebratory sips paper, and I'll go ahead and show you. I am going to use a couple of stamps from here. I'm using Cheers stamp, and I'm using It's Your Day. So that's what I'm going to be using with the cards that I'm showing you while we're on the live. At the end, I did something a little bit different, so you'll get to see those too. All right. Oh, we have to measure. Forgot what I was doing here. Okay. This is strawberry slush, and it is 5.5 by 8.5, and it's scored in the middle at 4 1/4, folded. This is a piece of the Celebratory Sips Designer Series paper. I've got my little ruler today. It's 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. Then a piece of white cardstock, basic white cardstock, the same, 4 inches by 5 1/4. Then I've got a piece of Blackberry Bliss cardstock. This is 2 1/4 by 5 inches. And another piece of that celebratory sips paper, 2 inches by 4 3/4. And then I've got some little pieces here. This is the strawberry slush again. This is 1 1/2 by 2 1/4. This one is 1 1/4 by 2. And then just a tiny piece of basic white. And this one is 1 inch by 1 3/4. Okay, so those are all the pieces that we need. And let's stamp first. Let's just go ahead and do that. So I'm going to stamp on this little tiny piece. And I'm going to use Blackberry Bliss. So let me get that opened up. And what I've done is I've taken that Cheers stamp and also the It's Your Day, and I put them on my block together. So I'm just going to stamp them all at one time. Let's ink that up. Let's see how we're doing today with stamping. Ta-da! All right. I like it. So let's put the ink away. And I'm going to do one more thing here. This is going to go on the inside. And I've got this little piece of the celebratory sips paper. And hold on, let me show you. So one of the sheets looks like this with all of these drinks on it. And so what I've done is I've cut some of the ones for my cards that were on the edge. So they're kind of like hanging off the edge, like this. So sometimes you look at a piece of designer series paper, and you're like, well, I can't use that because it's just a piece. But we are going to use it on the inside. We're just going to put it right here at the edge. And I just saw a comment from Deb, and we're going to remeasure it. Okay, strawberry slush. This piece is 1 1/2 by 2 1/4. Okay, and this piece is 1 1/4 by 2. So I don't know what I said, but whatever I said, that is what's correct. That is what's correct. Okay, so I fussy cut most of this out. I'm going to do just a little bit more because every week we've had new people because they send me messages and let me know. And so let's talk about fussy cutting just a little bit. I know we did this a couple weeks ago, but because there are new folks, we're going to do it again. So the trick with fussy cutting is to just keep moving your scissors open and closed, right? But you're going to use the other hand that's not holding the scissors to just move the paper. So one hand is just focused on cutting, right? The other hand is moving the paper. That's much easier than using the scissor hand to try and get the image cut out. There we go. I know some of you already knew that, but we want everybody to get the tips and tricks. Let's adhere that. Okay, Deb, I'm going to go back and look at my website too and double check the measurements on that to make sure. that I typed them in right. There we go. I just want that right down there at the edge. Cute. All right, let's go ahead and put that on the inside. That just goes right here. So did any of you take advantage of the in color sale last month? I was able to replenish some of my in color products because I had been using a lot of them. Let me scoot that just a little bit, get it where I want it. And in case you didn't know, what Deb is talking about is on my website. There's a tab, and I think it's called Projects, and you can see many, many, many of my projects there. So I do post the measurements for the projects, and there's also a shopping list with all the products that I used. So if you're curious about those things, you can hop over to my website and check that out. So I'm just continuing to adhere some things together here. So sometimes, and you guys have seen me do this before, sometimes I like to take one particular um, set of designer series paper and find kind of an easy card pattern and then make several cards with that designer series paper, but using different pieces for each one of them. And that way you get a really nice variety of cards. They all kind of coordinate together, but each one is different. And I love that because then you can create some little gifts with that. Just give someone a an assortment of cards. It does make a really nice gift. All right, so now I'm going to use some ribbon. This is, let's see, this is the gold striped ribbon that is available now. And I'm going to just wrap this piece around right here. And I'm going to secure it on the back with some tear and tape. So let me grab my tear and tape and tear off a couple of pieces. Okay, that's about where I want that. Let me turn it over and just put that right on there. And then see if we can get it going straight across here. And put this piece here. That's going to hold it in place. You grab my take your pick and peel off this backing. There we go. And let's get a little glue on here. And I'm going to put this down right about here. So I'm just looking, try to get an equal little margin right here. So you see this little designer series paper just peeking out an equal amount on these three sides. Let's give that a good press. And then I'm just going to take this and run it underneath here and just tie a knot here. And now you might be wondering why I didn't just wrap a long piece around that and tie a knot. And you could definitely do that. I've certainly done that before. But sometimes I find it easier to do this. It's less likely for it to be moving around while I'm trying to tie it, and that seems to work out. So let's trim this because we don't need all that. And let's trim this one. There we are. Their little ribbon is so cute. Now, this is going to go on the front, so let's get some dimensionals for this. And I'm going to load it up as I usually like to do. And get the backing off of those. And let's see, let's put this right about here. I really like the pink and purple up against each other. That strawberry slush and blackberry bliss is really kind of fun. But we're not finished because we need some bling, right? So let's use these. These are the holographic resin dots. And let's grab one of these. And I'm just going to put one right here. And then let's put a couple down here. Say one there and one here. So that gives it something kind of shiny and fun. So there we are, a lovely little drink on the inside. Easy peasy, right? Very easy. All right, I'm gonna cruise over here to the chat for just a minute and just see what's up. Okay, Lisa. Yeah, you got the Stampin' Right markers. Cool. Very cool. Hi, Linda. Thank you. Give me a thumbs up. That's great. I love it. I love it when you guys do the thumbs up. I love it when you do the hearts. I love it when you chat with me or leave comments when you watch a replay. What else? Oh, I love it when you share the channel. There are so many things that you can do to really help the channel and help me. So good. I'm glad that you guys like it. Sometimes we just need some easy cards, right? So, like I said, I've got more at the end to show you. We'll make one more right now. And I, ooh, I'm dropping things. And I even have a Christmas one that I made at the end because I'm thinking that I might use this pattern for some of my Christmas cards. All right, now here we are. We've got the same measurements for all the pieces, but now Timid Tiger is the star. And that's also one of the new in colors. I keep saying new. I mean, I guess they came out in May, but they're the most recent ones. So I'll keep saying new. All right. Got something on the corner of my paper. There we go. This, just goes right on the front. And I did want to say a few weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, on the live, I did a fun fold card with the celebratory sips paper. And that card just about broke my social media. You guys liked that one. That one went crazy. So funny. But that was a great card and still is a great card. So let's put our little drink on here for the inside of our card. So if you did see that, I'm curious to know if any of you have made that card, a fun fold. Timid tiger. I have not used this color very much, but I do like it. Perfect. Okay. Now, the other color I'm using here is bubble bath. So really light pink. I've got another layer here. And we need a stamp. So let me clean off my stamp because I'm actually going to use Secret C to stamp this time. Smooth that over. Okay, ink this up. Oh, and I dipped the corner of it in my ink pad. There we go. And we've talked about this Secret C before. I love it because it's so dark, really, really, really dark blue. It almost looks like black, but it is not as harsh as black. So it has worked well on several different cards that I have done for stamping sentiments. A little piece of paper here. Let's get it lined up where it belongs, and then maybe I can get that off. There we go. Okay, which is bugging me right there on the edge. Now let's put our sentiment on here. So if you have other ideas about which designer series paper you'd like to use to make some of these cards, I would love to hear about it because I need good ideas too. All right, let's do our ribbon wrap. I have some bubble bath ribbon. This is retired ribbon. It actually came in a two-pack. It had this ribbon and it had, what was it? Lemon lime twist, I think. It had lemon lime twist ribbon with it. So we're gonna put that on. Let's grab some Saran tape. Let me make sure I've got it in a reasonable spot. So we'll just stick that there. I find sometimes if I try to just wrap it and tie it if the ribbon is a little loose. It's not as snug as I want it to be. So this method works a little better for me. And we need some glue. So I have a question for you guys. Um, Sometimes people ask me questions, which is great. They send me a message or they'll ask me on social media, they'll comment on something and ask a question. And I am wondering if you can guess. There's two questions I get all the time, like all the time. And I'm just wondering if you can guess what either one of those questions are. So, what do you think are the all-time most frequently asked questions? I love this bubble bath. It's got this little silver metallic thread running along the edge. So pretty. Alrighty, there we are. Let's turn that down a little bit and see if I didn't get it in the middle. I can also like slide it a little bit because it's just tied on there. And that, that, there we go. You can just move that around a little bit. We need some dimensionals. Let's put these on here. I'll come back to the comments at the end, you guys. I kind of intermittently will go over there, so I'll let you know. But I will jump back over there. Whoops, in a few minutes. Did I get them all up? Oh, that one. There we are. So we'll just put that right there. I think this really light bubble bath looks so cool against that orange. I mean, I would not have thought that, but when I pulled everything out and just started playing with it, I love that. Okay, let's grab these holographic resin dots again. Get a few of those on here. One more. Okay. Ta-da! So fun. Super fun. These are the two cards we made. Let me travel over here and take a peek. Okay, so you guys, you guys are guessing. Where can I find the directions for your card? People do ask that. They do ask that. They will ask for the tutorials. That happens a lot. So yes, I would have to say that people asking for a tutorial is what people most often ask. Um, Although that's not what I had in mind, but yes, you're right. I forgot. People ask me for that all the time. And then Lisa, you're hilarious. Your age. No, I don't think anybody has ever asked. I don't think anybody has ever asked my age. Um, but what people want to know is what kind of glue are you using? That's probably the number one, right? what kind of glue are you using? And what is this? People want to know. They see me use this to put the gems on my things, and they're like, what is that? So it is a great tool. If you don't have a take your pick tool, I highly recommend. It's one of my favorite tools. So there you go. There you go. All right. So we've got two. Made these two today. Let's look at some other ones. All right. Now, these other ones, I didn't include that it's your day. It just has the word cheers on it. But let's see. And I tried to really mix it up and have a different color card base for every card, right? All of the designer series paper is from Celebratory Sipped. So this one has got the Blackberry Bliss as the card base, and then it's got some Timid Tiger. This one, let's scoot ourselves over a little bit. This one has a cloud cover as the card base, and then Berry Burst. This one is Old Olive and Strawberry Slush. And I used some different gems on this one. These are, I've got them over here. Let's see. These are the Strawberry Slush and Pretty in Pink gems. So use those on this card, and actually use the flat, I don't think they're called flat pearls, but these are the in color gems. So I use the cloud cover ones on that. And let's see, one more. This one has Secret Sea as the card base. Very nice assortment there. Same layout, same designer series paper, just using different pieces and parts from that package. And they all look a little different. All right, let me show you something else. So this is still Celebratory Sips paper, but I used one of the floral, and I pulled out an old retired stamp, Happy Birthday. So I think that turned out really pretty too. And all right, you ready? So this is a Christmas card, and this is actually using last year product. All right, so here it is. I think it was called Season of Green and Gold. So try that. And I changed this up a little bit because you'll notice on these, whatever color the card base was. So on this one, it was Strawberry Slush. That was the largest layer here. Oh, you know what? I did that one backwards. Deb, you're right. I'm just looking at it and I'm like, that, I did that backwards. I reversed these two layers. Deb, I'm crazy, not you. All right. So anyway, let's look at a different one where I actually did it in the consistent way. So this right here, the middle layer is the same as the card base. And I couldn't do that here because I'm using this Very Vanilla. Almost forgot the name of it. This Very Vanilla, it was going to be in the middle, so I couldn't use Very Vanilla on Very Vanilla. I mean, I guess I could have, but I didn't think that would look so great. So I pulled out some gold glimmer paper and used that as one of the layers. So that's all retired product, but I did like the way that turned out. So I think I might be making some Christmas cards with this layout. All right, let me check your comments again over here. Oh, Lisa, the sticky end doesn't. There is kind of like a technique to it. Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like if you just like press down, straight down and lift up, it doesn't work. I mean, it might sometimes, but it doesn't work very well. So what I found was if you press down on it and make really good contact, and then it's like slide it and scoop it up, like slide, scoop. I don't know. That's the way I have to do it because just straight up and down doesn't work for me. So I don't know. If you want to try something different, you might try that. Oh, yeah, Linda, I know this paper was so pretty, but we've got really gorgeous paper coming out. So not to worry, not to worry. Beautiful paper is coming. All right. So there's your inspiration for today. Also, I just wanted to say, some of you send me pictures of the cards you make after you watch one of the videos, and nothing makes me happier than to see what you are making. So please keep doing that. And if you haven't done it, I invite you to do that. Send me a picture of a card or cards that you are making. I love it. I love it. I mean, that's why I'm here because I want to inspire you to make some cards. So when I know that that's happening, I'm a very happy camper. All right. I think that's it. Until next Monday, I hope you guys have a great week and I will see you then. All right. Bye bye.